How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews. Mystery beers, courtesy of my boy Rob from Texas. Let's see what this sucker has to offer. Oh! Okay. What do we got going on here? He sent me off a box of beers and mystery beers. Almost all of the non-mystery beers. I believe all of them were Lager Pilsner. And it's the last of the mystery beers I'm diving into. And all of them were relatively low ABV stuff. This actually looks like it has a little bit of chutzpah to it. So we'll see what's what. Classic brown bag styling. Beer-wise, I mean, from a distance, I want to call that barley wine. Could be Belgian double, could be a couple different things, but it really does have this barley wine vibe to it. Index finger just over, kind of malted head, so it's not super dark. That's why I'm kind of leaning barley wine more than anything else. Looks like it has a nice kind of cream kind of color to it, and just rich dark body. Let's get a nose. That's not barley wine. That's not barley wine. I'm not getting anything on the nose here. I'm not getting a big sweetness component, not bittering component. It really is kind of neutral. If I'm going to reach for anything, it's going to be a soft, nutty characteristic. So maybe a low ABV kind of ESB, not even ESB, kind of probably more like a shilling ale or alt beer or something along those lines. Yeah, the nose is really not bringing much to the table. Let's dive in. Cheers. There is that... There's a sweetness to it. There's a caramelly, slight sugar daddy sweetness to it, but it's low ABV. It's low ABV. There's a little bit of tannic hop in there, nothing too crazy. So it's not ESB. It's not a mild. It's too sweet. I think this is an alt beer. And I have to kind of preface that guess. If I drank this beer 2 days ago, I would have not called this an alt beer. I wouldn't. I would call this probably some American take on a Belgian double or a quad. Double, because it can't be that big of a beer. The only reason why I'm going down the alt beer kind of train on this is because I went to Twin Elephant Brewing yesterday. And they drank their alt beer. They had three beers there. They had a lager, or they had a bunch of beers there, but I drank 3 beers there. I drank a lager, I drank an alt beer, and I drank an ESB. And I drank them in that order. Because I figured, okay, lager, sure. Alt beer, definitely going to be less aggressive, less impactful than an ESB. And an ESB, the alt beer was like a 5% barley wine in the way it kind of presented itself and had this rich kind of sugar, nice boldness and richness to it that actually kind of took me back in a very, very positive way, because alt beer is about as boring as you can possibly get. And this is what that's reminding me of. So it's got this nice, rich sweetness to it that has kind of like the echo, the DNA, the remnants, like a second running of barley wine base. It doesn't get that high in ABV. I think it's right around 5% and change this beer. And just this brown bready, sugary, sweet component. That's, again, for its ABV, for its impact, makes me think of that beer, not alt beers. It makes me think of Twin Elephant's alt beer, not necessarily alt beers in general. I don't know what I'm going to say. I want to stick with alt beer. But I really, 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 really think this might be somebody's Belgian brown ale. I think I'm going to shift to that. Because there's a sweetness on this. The way the beer comes off as an ABV, like how small this beer comes off. It drinks to me more like a 5 and change, pushing maybe touching 6% kind of beer. I don't think you can get this level of sweetness from just malt alone at that ABV level. And I think there has to be something added to it. There's no lactose in here, I don't think. There's no... Yeah, I could see, brown sugar, but I think it might be a Belgian candied sugar that's bringing that sweetness to the table as opposed to the malt base. So, there's not a big, huge Belgian component on here. There is a soft little kind of breadiness to it that makes me think that. Is this somebody's double bock? Is this 6%? That's it. I'm drinking a 6% double bock. That's it. I think I made up my mind. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. I think because the reason why I say that It's because so many times I've gone to this Belgian route where I'm not going to have a huge Belgian yeastiness, but there's a sweetness to it and there's this breadiness to it. And I open it up and somebody's double buck. I think this is somebody's 6% double buck or doppelbock. Okay, this is a Live Oak Baltic Porter. It's 8%. It is canned March 21, $10 a six pack, brewery only, I think. Rob. So you're talking about a 8% Baltic Porter. I called it a 6% Doppelbock. Baltic Porter is a lagered porter. Kind of like a double box, so I don't have any problem with that. The thing I love, it's just marker written on a can, which is fantastic. One of my favorite labels I've had in quite some time. I'm okay with everything I said. I'm glad I put that little piece in the end because I think that got me as close to this beer as it possibly could. Did I nail it? Obviously not. But you're talking about this beer right here in a 6-pack for $10. I want to punch everybody in the face. The only thing that it makes me even more angry is the ABV. I want this to be 6. I don't want it to be 8. It's so delectable, so rich. Is it one of the better Baltic Porters I've had? It's like, no. Is it one of the better American-born Doppelbocks? That's what I'm calling this beer, because that's what this beer is to me. You know, regardless of what they call it, Baltic Porter, you can not lager a Baltic Porter, okay? But more often than not, they are lagered. So you're talking about 8% lagered porter. You're kind of just dipping your toe in Doppelbock range there, so I'm not having a problem with what I'm saying. This doesn't come off as 8%. And what I would do, I would drink a whole 6-pack of this and hurt the next day. And I don't want to do that. I want to drink a 6-pack of this and just kind of hurt the next day because it's only 6 instead of 8. That's me just wanting everything. But Live Oak, this is delicious. Again, it might be. I gotta remember to save this. I gotta put this can back on there because this is absolutely one of my favorite cans of all time. And I gotta love it's got like Sharpie that's coming off because the beer can sweating. Anyway, this is a fantastic beer. You know, this is what I like. This is, like I said, when I work myself towards that Doppelbock thing, which is what I think it is, more than what they call it. Because what does the brewery know about calling their beers what they are? Goddamn Live Oak, like they know what they're doing. I'm joking, they do. And this is just tasty AF. So there you go. Is this one of the better, like I said, Baltic Porters I've had? It's like, yes. Is it Mount Rushmore status? No. Is it one of the better American-born Doppelbocks I've had? It's like, yes. Is it Mount Rushmore status? Yes. So that's your difference there. Value and availability on this thing, like Rob said, it was $10 a 6-pack all day with this. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, I feel like really delectable malt forward chugger beers that are a little bit too high in ABV, but come off rich and decadent. Man, all day you will love this. I feel like malty beers, more often than not, if the malty beers that I like, you'll like this. There you go. Reviewing the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. Let me know if you had this too. Massive Beers if you've want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif. Podcasting stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of Live Oak in a weird generic can right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.